Hi, I'm Kerry, the host of Best of Us Investors. I invest in the future. I own roughly 2% of my portfolio is in a stock called 23andMe. I like the ticker of it, it's ME. Today it's down about 1.2%. That gives me a total loss on this stock from where I bought it at 33%. It's one of my biggest losers. So why do I own it? Why do I continue to own it? It just went public in June of this year. And it currently has, let's see, somewhere around 11.6 million subscribers. Those are people who have spit into a little tube and sent them the tube sent 23andMe, I think I paid about $100, and they came back and have told me who all my ancestors are who have done the similar thing. But that's not really why I'm in it. I'm in it because it's a data company. It's a company that is accumulating data, and it's at its infant stage, and it has potential growth potential as a result of the revolution that we're going to have in our healthcare system, the way we deliver healthcare as a result of the corona crisis. So I want to dig deeper into this so that you have a better understanding of who 23andMe is and why I'm happy to own it with a 33% loss at this point. I think it is a giant in the making. So stick with me. Again, I invest in the future. I'm a retired financial advisor, and I'm interested in investing in the companies that are going to change the way I live, and I think 23andMe is one of them. I'll be right back.
Best of Us Investors presents Kerry Griegmeyer.
Okay, I said that 23andMe has 11.6 current users. That represents roughly 0.1% of the world's population. The world's population is 7.6 billion, and they have 11.6 million. Give you again some reference point. As I say, less than 1/10% of the world's population. Facebook controls or has 34% of the world's population using Facebook, and Google has 90% of the world's population searching on Google. Google was introduced in 2004. Facebook went public in 2012. So I tell you that because I believe that 23andMe will have a similar impact. Not that they will have 90% of the world's population spitting in a tube and sending them information. No, I think that's going to become the minor part of their business. They, back in 2018, entered into a collaboration or a partnership with GlaxoSmithKline, because GlaxoSmithKline recognized that this data they're collecting, this genomic data, is going to help them, GlaxoSmithKline, in their drug discovery. In essence, what they're doing is they're able to look at your genes, compare your genes to the other, 11.6 million people, gather information from those 11.6 million people, and see how what disease I have is relative to the disease or medical problems that my fourth cousin has. And then making some assumptions from that and learning from the treatments of me as opposed to my fourth cousins. Again, all they are is a data company. And I think the most valuable data that we will have in our world will be our medical data, because what is the number one motivation of any living being, and that is to continue to live. So if in fact, by comparing my medical data to your medical data, you can live longer, you're for it. Now, as I said, less than 1/10 of 1% of the people in this world have signed up for the program thus far. I don't think that's a big issue. I think once you get, let's say they are able to get 5%, the information they'll be able to draw from that 5% will be earth-changing. It will give us the ability to achieve what every car company has done, and that is to compare what is happening in my BMW to what's happening in your BMW and every other BMW, and then make decisions accordingly to prolong the health of that automobile. You take that same mental logic and put it into the medical field, and I think you can see the potential of this company. Now, the other thing I like about them is they are the only one in their game. They are the only one that has FDA approval to gather this information. They have just recently offered me an upgrade in my my membership to give me additional information that will tell me, based on my DNA, what my reaction would be to certain drugs. They will also tell me, based upon my DNA and the DNA of other people that have, or the genomics that other people have submitted, what my propensity for early stage Alzheimer's are, what my propensity for Parkinson's disease is. I'm quite sure in the very near future they'll do this relative to cancer. And I think I'll raise my hand, and because I have cancer in my family. What this is going to do, and that's another $125 from me. But what's more important is what GlaxoSmithKline and other pharmaceutical companies can do with this data. We've seen this as we saw. Google, as I told you, has 90% of the population searching on their service, and that has made them the largest advertiser in the world. And they do that not because they have a platform, but because they have the ability from that platform to predict what I'm going to buy next. To give you an example, I need some new running shoes. My running shoes are breaking down. So I went to Nike and I looked and I found a shoe that I like. But I was going out of town last week, so I didn't buy it. Yet I looked at it. I priced it and I looked at it. Well, ever since then, every place I go on the internet, I see that shoe. Nike is paying Google to put that shoe in front of me. Since I've gotten back from Indianapolis, I have bought the shoe. So it works. That's exactly what 23andMe is. They are the Google of our medical future. They are the ones who are going to have the data on my health, on your health. Now, again, they are nowhere near what Google's 90%, but remember, Google has built this since 2004. That's when Google went public. They didn't have, in 2004, they didn't have 1/10 of 1% of the data that they have now. 23andMe went public in June. They have 11.6 million people. I suspect if we go forward, 17 years, 23andMe is going to have a lot more subscribers and a lot more data supplying information to a lot more pharmaceutical companies than GlaxoSmithKline. So I want to own part of that. Am I going to see a spike in their value? No. Again, I'm down 33%. Today I'm down another 1.64%. Nobody has recognized the value of this $8.12 company. This is another Google. This is another Facebook. Not because they're a search engine or a social media platform, because they're a data behemoth in its infant stage. So, if I want to invest in the future, if I believe the most important event in my 76 years was in March of 2020, when the coronavirus struck and the world woke up to the fact that our healthcare system, our delivery of healthcare, has not caught up with the technology that we have, and the genomic research that is being done, and the CRISPR research that is being done, and the data that 23andMe is collecting, they haven't woken up to it yet. So, if you want to get in on the Google of the the healthcare revolution, it's on sale today for $8.14. That's my take. Again, it's not a get rich quick. And it may, to be very honest, it may be the best gift that I give my grandchildren, as opposed to me making the profits off. But that's okay. It represents about 2% of my portfolio, and I'm willing to invest in my family's future. I guess that's what I'm doing. I'm investing in my family's future. I'm striving to leave more behind, to leave my family in a better financial position than when I came. So, I'm an owner of 23andMe. It's going to be put on a back shelf. I won't pay a lot of attention to it. I'll allow them to do their work. I'll allow them to collaborate with other pharmaceutical companies, and this will be a big winner. Again, maybe not in my lifetime, but it will be a big winner because it's the only one in the game. All right, that's my, what will we call it, 10-year golden nugget. It won't take 10 years. I'll talk to you again tomorrow.